Welcome back to the Hot Mess to Awesomeness podcast, a show all about inspiring smart, busy women to put their happiness at the top of their to-do list. Join your host and life coach, Dion Thompson, as she chats with amazing women who have figured out how to make their happiness a priority, and more importantly, what it's really like to go from hot mess to awesomeness. And now, on with the show.
Good afternoon, ladies. It is a beautiful gray day here in wherever it is that you are. And I'm super excited for day 2 of the break that every busy woman deserves. And today I have the amazing Alissa Blais as our guest today. And so we just danced our asses off to Alissa's choice of music. And like I said, I do not speak Spanish, but I do believe they were telling me to dance and to turn my camera on so everybody could see it. So that's what happened.
Did you like that song? Have you heard it before?
Yeah, well, I want to say yes. It's funny because without radio, right, it seems like I can miss a lot because I'm not being exposed to new music because I just like what I like, and then there I go. Anyway,
yeah,
it was awesome. It was fun.
Oh, good.
So you and I are going to dive in just a moment, but I wanted to touch base with the ladies who are here today and just check in to see how everybody's doing after yesterday. Looking around, I'm pretty sure everybody was here. Roxanne, I think you were. Yes. So did anybody want to chat a little bit about kind of how their afternoon went? Maybe if you felt some energy shift, anything at all after yesterday's chat and moving into a new day and more information. So ladies, any comments, funny stories? Anything you want to share after yesterday?
I just felt great again to like reconnect with people and to see some familiar faces and just to chat, you know.
Yeah.
Keeping in touch with people through text or messaging is great, but it's nothing like actually seeing a happy, smiling face and a whole lot of positivity to just kind of like brighten your spirits. And yeah, it was awesome. It was so needed.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Katie.
Yeah.
And you did 2 circles yesterday.
I did. Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was, I like dove right in and like, how many of these things can I like fit in a day? And it's okay. And kid wants to come in.
Of course. Awesome.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I thought it was amazing yesterday. I also left and kind of felt like I was on a high, like same way you feel after you do the wise women say, like you just leave feeling so empowered and so uplifted. And I felt like it was, you know, I've been watching videos online and catching up on social media with people because there are a lot more on it, but there's something missing with that when you're just scrolling through and looking pictures, and maybe that gave me the update I needed before when I was more social, but to now have actual interactions with people is what's making such a difference on it. So even FaceTiming with friends more, doing stuff like this, calling people randomly. So even just talking on the phone, I feel like it's so easy to get distracted now that doing the face-to-face and really being mindful in the moment and accountable for what you're saying, what other people are saying, and really actively listening. I think this has made a huge difference. Plus also like scheduling something in my day so that I, you know, maybe put a bra on, maybe not. It's a good thing to have when there's so much.
Oh.
Maybe she took off her bra.
She did. That was it. Rachel, you paused at so much, but I'm going to fill in and say connection and community and awesomeness. And hopefully you'll pop back in a moment. Christine, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I just, it was really, really positive to see all the smiling faces and people talking about getting through this together. And that's just so uplifting. And just even seeing Kelly yesterday and talking about her upside down pose and being able to connect with her in that I actually got a chance to see that. I was having a hard time sleeping. And I watched that and I giggled and laughed that she was putting herself out there, and I actually fell asleep afterwards. So hearing her yesterday, we connected last night, and you never know who you're touching, how much you're helping by just putting yourself out there. So this group is so wonderful that you put together that we can all do that.
Thank you, Christine. And that means a lot. And I'm very excited and happy and proud that you are putting yourself out there too. So yay.
Yeah. Again, it's that process, right? Just for me, it's just even these little things that I'm shaking, just going, okay, I want to say something. And so, yeah, it's helping me to grow through
awesome.
All together.
Yay. Hey, Kelly. Oh, you're muted. There you go.
This is the first time I've ever done it on my phone. I'm having trouble with my computer and my connection. So I didn't know how to do it on the phone. So hi.
Hey, you know what? This is a time of learning. This is all, that's what's happening. It's a lot of learning all the time.
And I just wanted to say to Christine that you just made my day with your message that you sent me yesterday. I'm still glowing from it. So thank you for sharing that it help you to sleep and you got a good laugh. So that's awesome.
Thank you. I just wanted to say about, I'm all about stepping out of the comfort zone or whatever you want to call it, and authenticity. And I have to say, this idea of like dancing in front of other people, that's a thing. And no, it is not recorded, and it never will be, just so you know. I won't be publishing that anywhere. But I really felt stretched in that. So I'm so grateful for Katie, and I'm grateful for Rachel, all of you. But yesterday when Katie and Lynn turned on their cameras, I'm like, oh, okay, let's do this thing, and I'll just do it. And then it just became this thing. And I'm thinking ahead to the next 20 some odd times that we're going to do this. And I'm going to be like, I'm going to be a fucking pro. I'm going to be dancing on stages. I'll be on big screens. It's going to be a thing. I'm really excited. Anyway, I just wanted to thank all of you for helping me to, I kind of tap into something I didn't even know was a thing. So awesome. So, I would love to introduce Alissa with the beautiful bio that she gave me that I don't have. So, like I have it, but I fucking don't remember where it went. I'm sorry about that. So okay. I'm more than happy to tell people what I think about you, but maybe you could sort of encapsulate what you do and why you do it. And then I'll ask you all the fun questions I want to ask you, if that's okay. I apologize for that. Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's all good. And I will say though that I am feeling a little left out about the dance party. So if we could do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was just finishing up with, I do some online workouts. So I was just wrapping up. I just caught the tail end, 1 o'clock online. So I missed the fun dance party and I love to dance. So hopefully we can do that.
We absolutely can do that. What we'll do is we'll do that at the end, because then I can edit it out. If I upload to YouTube, I can't upload those songs. I don't have rights to those songs, but we can still dance our asses off, and it'll be perfect addition to whatever else you're going to make us do later. So yay.
So, hi everybody. My name's Alissa and I am in Barrie. I'm a mom of 2 and I am co-owner with my husband of a place called Blais Performance, where we help people and athletes get stronger, get fitter, and live healthier lives. And right now we have done a massive pivot because we are no longer open, but we are trying to serve our communities as best as we can with the tools that we know how. And I met Dion actually online, which is really cool. We connected because she's up in Midland. And I love creating and holding space for women. I especially love to help women regain their strength and their confidence in their bodies and make healthier decisions, because I appreciate and understand that the healthier that we feel, the better we feel, the more that we move, the more energy we have, the more creative we can be. And this can create a ripple effect, not only in your home with the way that you show up for your kids, how you show up in your business. And hence I've been very active since I've had my children, which has been a lifesaver for me, because those beginning stages of having children for me, at least, were very dark. And I found joy through movement and taking care of myself. So something that I teach for women now, and I have created, various types of programs online and in person to help women find that strength so that they can show up in their life with who they want to show up as. Again, whether that's somebody that's a career woman, whether that's a mom that's going through some struggles with new motherhood, or whether that's a woman in business, and helping them create, better routines of self-care so that they can show up and be givers to all the other people that need to hear their voices too. So
absolutely. So I definitely, I wouldn't say I came upon, but I really feel like I came upon you because we were in a shared group, and
Yes.
I saw you speak, and I was like, oh, I need to go hang out with this woman. And then I found out that you were offering that mastermind that includes an hour of fitness and then an hour of talking about business. And as a solopreneur, I love getting around, and a lot of I love hanging out with women, number one, and getting into circle and then talking about things that light us up. So business is something important to me. So it was a really great vehicle for that. And I really enjoyed the whole experience. And I'm so grateful that you're in my world. And we were actually sort of interacting as these things were happening with the virus, and we'd seen each other prior to, and I just feel like it was like we were watching things shift as a group, and I just found that fascinating, and I was really I'm really excited to hear about your perspective as a business owner, as a mom, as someone who for the most part, I mean, yes, you interact with people, but what it's like to pivot. And I think that regardless of, you don't have to have a business to recognize that you're pivoting now, that we are taking what we normally do day to day and trying to recreate it in a whole new environment, trying to recreate what we like about it, what is important to us, and kind of mirror why we do it in a whole new world. And I'd love to get your perspective on that, on what pivoting felt like, because I imagine it wasn't all sunshine and fucking roses. And then what did you lean on? What did you go to? What were some of the things that you needed to do in order to manage that? Because I mean, you're doing it, so obviously, there was some processing there.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So actually last weekend I was in a little bit of a bubble. I was in a summit that was put on by my business coaches. And, there was a whole lot going on in the outside world, and we were kind of all in this like amazing, like rah summit, what it's like, I'm sure, going to your events, Dion, where you get all this high energy and you get all these great ideas and you're full of like energy and life. When we kind of learned that, businesses were shutting their doors, and it was important to do so. And, my husband and I, we talked about it, and all of our clients were reaching out to us, and they still wanted that support. They wanted a place to go. They wanted to work out. It was important for their connection, their mental health. So we were like, yes, we're staying open for them. We're going to get through this. And then on Sunday, there was a change. When things are changing right now by the day, by the minute. And so we had already gone through like some emotions of like, are we closing? Are we not closing? What's that going to look like on us? And then on Sunday, when we heard that all of the gyms were closing, that it was important to do that, and that you shouldn't have groups of so many people and blah, 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 we were like, okay, so we are going to close our doors. And the instant was not, there's that instant fear of like, how are we going to provide for our family? How are we going to get through this? Like, we are a brick and mortar business. And, in talking with, our mastermind group, and talking with my business coaches, and just talking to our clients, like they all just still really wanted to feel supported. And so that's what we did. We decided to show up for them the best way that we could, and share how we are moving through this together, because we're all in this together. And I know that there are some people right now that are still working. My kids are right here now. They're kind of like slowly like coming into the they're coming in. And my kids are high energy.
So, shocker.
Yes, shocker. This is why I have to have energy for them. Okay. You're gonna get down? Okay. They're coming in. I think they're coming in for lunch now.
Oh, are you okay?
Okay. So we decided that we had to pivot, or we were kind of forced into a pivot. Are you still there? You are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we leaned on the support groups that we had already formed, that we had created, and we felt like we had to just continue. We knew that we had to continue to show up for our clients the best way that we could, in being a support system for them. My husband trains a lot of athletes, so he's got a lot of I'm going to just go into another room now because I think they're getting really loud. You're going to go downstairs? Okay. This is what it's like working online. You can just take your phone with you. So, where was I? So we have pivoted online, but not in a space of like, I'm trying to get clients out of this, or I'm trying to make money. Honestly, right now, if I can just support people the best way that I know how, because there's people out there that have to go to work. There's people that are out there that don't have any work. I'm creating work for myself. Like I actually don't have to do anything. And I'm really glad that the government has been sharing as much as they can about how they're going to step up for especially a lot of people that are in small businesses, or that don't get EI and things like that, which is me. Mm-hmm. And so we have opportunities to basically take however long a period of time that we have, whether it's another week or two, whether this goes on for months,
right,
to find out what's really important to us, to nail down those things, to start doing those things, and honestly, to be kind of like a kid again and take the money out the window, like defer your mortgage payments. If you can just live on food and just with a little bit of money, just try to figure out how you're going to be in space. And I know that on the other side, there's going to be so much light and brightness, but right now we're just figuring that out.
Right.
Yeah.
I
said a lot of things there.
That's okay. It was very informative, and it was full. And that's the reality is there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of angles in which to look at all of this. And so for those of us, that are in business, and especially heart-centered businesses, and then the clients that we attract them for that reason. And so it felt natural to continue to show up. And I was saying to someone today, I'm like, I'm going to continue to work at that same level. And it's not about the money. It's about, the why. And I'm also interested in, and so what, like your perspective on the community and clients that you're serving, and, what would you share with them, impart with them as to how they can best show up and take advantage of all these opportunities. And the reason I say this is because, as Katie had said, she had jumped on 2 calls yesterday, and I was on Zoom for hours yesterday. And so there's also we have to still be kind to ourselves and recognize that from a digital standpoint, it's not ideal to constantly be in front of a screen. And anyway, so I'm interested in your perspective on how individuals can stay connected and take advantage of resources, and how to be setting up sort of some balance there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to stay connected, and I think we're blessed to be in a day and age where we can be, because we wouldn't know all of these wonderful and amazing things that other people are doing right now if we didn't have social media, right? Mm-hmm. But I also think that it's important that you give yourself some space in order to just be without all of the other outside opinions and chatter and news and all of that stuff. So I think it is creating a little bit of balance of go on, fill your bucket up with what it is that you need to see. Maybe you want to watch the news for like 10 minutes to get some of those updates. Mm-hmm. And then if you do things online that serve you, that make you feel joy, stay online, like play video games, watch movies. I don't know what those things are, but if you are somebody that thrives on setting some routines or can get into some routines. Like I've told my clients, this is a fantastic opportunity. You're not rushing Johnny off to soccer. You don't have to quickly run out the door without breakfast. You can start creating some healthier habits right now that you have been telling me for months that you just don't have time for. And so this is like an awesome opportunity for you to get clear on like, what is it that I do want to do for myself?
Right.
And I know we've chatted about this, Dion, before, is before I get out of bed in the morning, and I have a very like, kind of like a strict, but I have a laid out morning routine, and that it has evolved over time, but I've really kind of pieced it together so it doesn't take a lot of time now. But I decide how I want to show up that day. So and why this is important is because the first couple of days where there is that fear and that sense of like scarcity and like what's happening with the world and all this uncertainty, we kind of just hung out in our pajamas all day and we just let the day go by and we weren't really doing things. And that's okay too. It's okay to be in that space if that's where you want to be. But I know that if I went for months like that, that's not going to serve me at all.
Right.
And so in the morning, when before I get out of bed, I decide how I want to show up that day. I want to get up. I want to get ready like it's a regular day. I'm going to put on my workout clothes because this is what I wear to work. So I'm doing the same thing here. I put makeup on today. I go downstairs, I have breakfast, I make my bed. But I really decide before I get up to come into the day with a sense of peace and calm, and to decide how I want to show up for the people that are in my direct life right now, but also how I want to show up for the people that I'm going to be seeing on Zoom calls or sharing my online workouts or however that may be. And so I think that it's important to not only embrace this extra time that we have, but also decide how you can decide what it is that you need so you can create those little pockets of you time or of kid time or of self-care time or of I'm going to figure out how to make some new recipes time, or we finally have time to like play games with our kids or kids time, or now I can just like take a 5-minute break and do a dance party with people online time, right? Like we can create space for that.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? You create a schedule.
Yeah. I think because I love when you shared that with us in our group. And to be honest, I'm waking up now and my eyes are closed and I'm setting my intention for the day. And I think too, being in our own space, we can get really lost in all the things, right? Like, oh, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go do this. And I'm not going to do any of those things. And when it comes to social media, when it comes to connection, when it comes to all what's being sort of given to us, I think that's something to also set our intention around. So not just how do I want to show up, but what am I allowing in, and what are my sort of non-negotiables as to what that's going to look and sound like. So yes, if we want to be informed by the news, we get to pick the outlet, the one that matches what it is that we want. And then we pick the time and we know the impact it has on us physically and emotionally. And also which groups we pop into, which yoga instructor, which fitness instructor, because now there's a lot of free access. And, do we want to see them live? Do we want just the recording? I think it's about getting really clear on who we are and how we operate, because we were so automatic. And so much of our lives was out of habit that now this is great time to reflect on, is that how I want to continue to show up? Has that been serving? Is it serving me now to be like coffee and a donut out the door lady? Because now it's coffee and 7 of those things because I haven't left the house, right? And or 7 coffees and 6 donuts. I mean, really, who's counting? So, but I loved that, even just that little shift. It was a little shift for me because I get up pretty well, but I'm like up and out of my bed and I'm in like coffee maker and whatever. Now it's like I don't even know how long it is. It just feels long enough to feel the shift. So that's definitely something I think everybody could potentially do, even if you have a great morning practice, but to really go, how am I going to show up today for the people in my life? And what do I want to receive throughout my day? And what's my intention there? Because once you set that intention, it will unconsciously permeate your body. And so that you'll naturally make decisions to go one way or the other, tea instead of coffee, apple instead of donut, whatever, maybe donut. So, I'm very, I'm conscious of the time, but I do want to open up, the group. If anybody has any questions for Alissa, or if you want to say anything, this is your time. She's a wealth of knowledge. So does anybody have anything they want to ask, comment, share? Is anybody in the comments? No.
Unmute yourself.
I just want to say thank you guys. I mean, you're on other sides of my screen right now. Thank you guys for showing up who have your own businesses. I feel like so many of the people in these groups are self-employed or entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, like you're saying. So it's so amazing to feel that support when we are so isolated. So thank you guys both for showing up and doing what you do, even though it's a bit of a shift from your business and not looking like it is. But I think that putting in this time and this energy like this reignites people and makes them even more passionate about what you do when everything comes back to normalcy as well.
Right. Thank you. Thanks, Rachel. I appreciate that. So maybe Alissa, I would love for you to share with us how we can take advantage of all of the cool, awesome things that you're doing by continuing to show up for your community. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I have a few things that I've got going on right now, and you can decide to partake or not partake. It's up to you. And I think the biggest thing is just deciding what it is that you need. So there's lots of free resources that are out there right now. So yeah, you have an opportunity to go try different instructors, yoga instructors, training. I know pretty much everybody that's in the fitness industry has had to shift online, and I'm sure that's similar to maybe coaching and other things like that. So it's your opportunity to explore and figure out, who you align with. But if you want to check out some of the stuff that I'm doing some free online live workouts Monday to Friday. And to be honest, I'm just doing them for my community, my clients, so that they are getting their workouts in. But it has created some traction, and there's other people that haven't been working with me for a while, or they haven't had the time to do workouts, and they are. And so it's 30 to 40 minutes. It's every day at 12:15, Monday to Friday. And I have a real philosophy on exercise, and that is I believe that it's important to move daily. It's important to learn to move your body well, so that you can so that your body craves more movement and you continue to move, because we have this vehicle, and this vehicle wants to move, and it's a way to bring out all the things, mental health, physical health, and all those things. So the style of workouts that I do are different every day. So if you're like, oh, I like yoga, I've got yoga on Tuesdays and Fridays. and if you are not into the yoga thing, try it. But if you want to try some other things, I've also got, we do a style of strength training, and that's the style that we teach a lot at Blais Performance. Strength training now with zero equipment. So it is possible. I'll show you how to do that. And then on Wednesdays, I'm doing a little bit more higher intensity workout, which is a HIIT workout, where it definitely ups the cardio and the sweat. So I'm showing up in that way, in that capacity for kind of like outsiders, people that are not my clients right now. And but I also, within the workout, I give some little like homework or action steps if you want to take part. So the action step today after yoga, because today was all about like focusing our attention on inwards and reflecting on, maybe shedding the layers of who we are, of mothers and workers and wives. And we have this opportunity to just be us. And what does us need? And so the invitation was to make a list of all the things that you want to do, whether it's in your life or it's in your business or it's just in your like morning routine. Like, just make a list and just write it down like it's jotting down and taking down some notes. And you don't have to take action steps on it. Just think about all the things that you want to do. And then you can go back to it later if you want to and start looking at, okay, what are the things that I feel like I have time and space for and that I actually want to do right now, and choosing to do that. Because I find myself slipping into old habits of like scrolling. Like you go online on social media to do a post, and then you end up scrolling, and then you go down like the deep rabbit hole, right? And I want to be really intentional with my time right now, because we have all this time, but we can get sucked into the vortex. So in order for my busy mind to stay focused, I've created a schedule for myself to just look at what are the things that I want to do today. So for business, when I have allotted the time for business, what am I focusing on? If I'm allotting the time for self-care, what am I doing for self-care? If I'm allotting the time for spending time with my kids, what can we do together? And then because I'm juggling, my husband's schedule and my kids, I also am like coordinating things that they can do as well. And they've created a bucket list of things that they want to do while we're all together. So these are things that I'm sharing with my group, and I'm hoping to help people create healthier habits throughout the course of, however long that we're in this together. And so I'm looking at maybe doing some health challenges, and maybe Dion, you do that as well. Is like, how can we create some healthier habits and do it together, so that come time to go back to work, you already know how to get all that water in you, and you already know you're going to make a better decision when you're around your peers, when there's 6 donuts in front of you and you know what you want to, you'd rather eat something healthier. So those things, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about how I can help serve in not just like the workout perspective, but also in creating those habit changes as we move through the course of time and space that we're in.
Awesome. I love all that. And you all know that I'm a big fan of building new habits and allowing the old ones to fall away. And this is a great time for that. So that being said, let's work on a brand new habit of moving Dion's ass all over the room. So Alissa, do you have a little something for us to engage in, some movement for us to do?
Sure, I do. Okay, so I want, if you're in a space where you can stand up, I can't really see anybody. You can even turn yourself off if you don't want people to see you. Stand yourself up if you're able. And I just want you to just shake things out. So I just want you to get kind of silly, shake your hands, shake your body, shake your booty. And this is not something that I normally do in class, but I've been just exploring just this shaking, and it feels really good in all the areas of our body. So let's just kind of like shake, shake, shake all that out. Okay, I'm not feeling dizzy after that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do kind of like a full body roll. So I'll move back a bit here, so have a bit of space. So I want you to tuck your chin to your chest, and you're gonna slowly roll down. Think of rolling down one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way down so your hands are to the inside of your feet. And then I want you to work your way back up. So engaging your legs, slowly coming all the way up to stand one vertebrae at a time, even shrugging the shoulders at the top and relaxing them down. So we'll do that again. Tuck your chin to your chest, slowly roll all the way down, and then slowly unwind yourself, coming all the way back up, shoulder shrug. Let's do that one more time, rolling down. I wasn't going to make you guys sweat. I was just going to have us kind of like get unstucking ourselves. Because if you want to sweat, I can send you to something that I've got already pre-recorded. But let's just do a few circles with our arms forward. This feels really good. Opening through the front of your chest. Big circles forwards. And then we'll do some big circles backwards. Squeezing the shoulder blades behind us. And then I'll get you to take your arms out to the side. Just have a soft bend in your knees, and let's twist. So we're moving our bodies in different ranges of motion, different planes of motion. Okay, so swaying from side to side. And then you'll do the same thing. You'll just bend and hinge forwards and sway from side to side. So keeping your chest open, keeping your arms wide. All right, let's go ahead. Put your hands on your hips, and let's do some big circles with your hips. Push your hips back, lean forwards, around, push back, and around.
Oh, I feel sexy.
I don't know about you, but this makes me feel so good, because I'm like, oh, tight there, but it feels so good to move. And then the circles in the other direction. Okay, then you'll take your feet wide, Take your feet wide, toes point forwards, and I want you to push your bum back. You can lean forwards so your toes and knees go in the same direction. We call this a runner's lunge squat. And then you're gonna come back up. So wide-legged, feet are wide, push your bum back. You're gonna get a little bit of movement and opening through the hips. So try to lead with your bum pushing back, and then squeeze and come back up, pushing back and coming up. Let's do that 2 more times each side. And 1 more time. All right, heel toe your feet back together. And if you need to hold onto a wall or a chair, let's do a quad stretch. You can grab hold of the top of your foot, push your foot into your hand. If that feels too far away, just grab hold of your pants. Pushing, stretching through the front of the hip flexors and the quad. And then we'll switch sides. You can face the opposite way. Push your foot into your hand. And then at this point, what I would get you guys to do is make your way into the more active part of the workout, which would be like jumping jacks or squatting or push-ups. I'm not gonna make you guys do that. But this is like our body is primed and ready to go. We've kind of opened things up. We've loosened things up. So you might feel good. Maybe you wanna head outside for a walk after this. Get your body moving. That's kind of how we role play into the next phase of the workout.
I love that. And what we might do, we can move right into our dance party again. If you'd like to keep our bodies moving. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's watching on the replay, because I'm going to stop the camera now.
Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. Join Dion again next week to learn more about what you can do to go from hot mess to awesomeness.